Hey, welcome back. I'm surprised that many of you stayed after the lunch because it's such a beautiful day. It's a shame to perhaps not spend it in the sun, but then we have 3 more hours of sun today. So I think we spent 1 hour here, another hour and a half upstairs in the corners, and then we spend some time in the sun. So our next speaker is Jelena. Jelena, would you mind coming here? She doesn't mind. Jelena, welcome on the stage.
Thank
Is
you.
this your first time at the Regional Scrum Gathering that you are presenting?
Yes, actually, yes. Being a guest and presenting also, so yes.
That's awesome. And the coaching center, the stand upstairs, it's from your company,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And what does your company do? What do you do?
Yeah, so we started as some sort of a local provider of ICF certifications 11 years ago, and then with time we just made various pivots, shifts, and so on in line with the market needs, basically. So that's like responding to change rather than following a plan. I'm sure that many people would recall. So basically nowadays we are an AI augmented provider of L&D, also including Agile certifications, Agile consulting, and so on. So that's the story.
So you cover the sexiest topic of the present day.
Yes, yeah.
Along with electric vehicles and SpaceX. Okay, you know, the top 3, not bad, not bad. Is it true?
Yep.
I heard. Is it true that you watched some of the best football games of Serie A, of Premier League, of... Give us the details,
Okay, so
the meat.
just to give the backstory, Veronica upstairs just asked me about some personal stories and so on, which I can't share, but you know, like, so one of the things was, what is my favorite football club? And I said Red Star because of my kids. So this is the story. Sorry, if for any partisan supporters, that's the story.
No, but then you told me you went to San Bernabeu.
Yes. Yes, well, with kids, it's like whenever we travel abroad, visiting some football venues and so on. So it's not really like my thing, but I'm a mom, so I do what my kids say.
Awesome. And what are the games like there? Is there like a lot of feelings and emotions?
Well, at Roma Stadium, we had some sort of an impression like Sanremo, actually, rather than like Maracana experience. So it's like much more calm, singing, and everything. Everybody's, you know, in a different kind of mode. So it's like nice to see diversity, probably.
Awesome. I also understand that you have a small surprise for us.
Yes.
Do you want to share it now quickly, or we keep it as a surprise and
I'm fine
lips
sharing.
sealed?
Yeah, I'm fine sharing. So my colleagues from Coaching Center will set up a small quiz with a prize in the end. So I just invite you to take part. It's something I think some of you may find valuable.
Awesome. Jelena, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Veronica. Okay, so you've heard it's like my first time here on the Scrum Alliance. For the 4 years maybe in the role, like from 2020, let's say, Agile came into our radar at Coaching Center, primarily because we observed that on our ICF certification programs at that time, many people who were Agile professionals actually came to obtain ICF certifications or learn about coaching. So that's how my interest into Agile started. I'm a psychologist. I'm not like a technical person or originally from Agile, so to say, more like psychologist into coaching and then into Agile. And in the last year also into AI, how we can support people development across the fields with AI. And that's what I will be sharing with you also today. So we can start, if you agree. Are you ready? Yeah? Okay, so my presentation would be in Mentimeter, and I invite you to maybe just take the barcode there, because at some point in the presentation I would be asking you for some feedback, questions, and so on, if that is fine with you. So the central maybe topic of what I will be sharing today is something that we can call co-agility. So maybe just to come back to the original principles, one of them already mentioned, responding to change, like original Agile Manifesto principles, and one version of how AI can become a part of that. So nowadays we see a lot of talk about using AI primarily for let's say, automizing things, making processes more optimized, using AI analytics, creating AI workflows, and generally leaving it up to AI to take control of all the technical aspects, so to say, of the processes that are mapped here in the original Agile Manifesto. And one could say, okay, this is a fine version. We can live with that, maybe. But what I will maybe propose as some sort of an alternative to this is something, I think, different. And I think it is very important that we are sensitive to the subtle, maybe, difference in how AI can join into the Agile Manifesto principles. So what does co-agility here mean in this sense and in this context? So first of all, it's like co-intelligence. We have that first value or principle, like people and interactions. We bring in AI as a partner and create co-intelligence of humans plus AI versus processes and tools. So there, we are not putting AI in the processes and tools kind of box, which may sound as obvious. It's a tool, and yes, it is, but rather treat AI as a partner here in the individuals and collaborations part, interactions part. So that's the kind of how co-agility makes maybe a shift from using AI as a tool only, using it as a collaborator, and that's one sense of co-agility that I'm talking about today. Another kind of thing is thinking about ways how AI can also be helpful in co-delivery of value to our clients, and again, treating AI as something that is an enabler and also partner rather than just a tool. So we could imagine a scenario where we are using AI for more and more comprehensive documentation, and I'm sure that AI can produce tons of documentation. I'm sure everybody has that already in your experience. But on the other hand, I guess it's important to keep an eye on how AI can actually be helpful in continuous delivery of value rather than just producing tons and tons of documentation. So that's, again, a little bit of a shift into co-agility. Then we have this kind of thing, treating AI also to improve customer collaboration in various ways, like analyzing interactions, having AI there present on customer meetings, and so on. So again, treating AI as one of the stakeholders, as a partner in improving our collaboration with customers, rather than just something that is, again, part of maybe the contract negotiation and so on. And in the last kind of principle here of co-agility, let's say, it's also about co-creating change with AI rather than following a plan. In 2020, some 20 years ago, whenever Agile Manifesto, I think it was 2003, but correct me if I'm wrong, whenever it was created, we had some sort of a plan. And that plan served us very well, I think, for the 20 years in past. I guess one kind of a thing that comes with co-agility is there maybe a place and time to change the plan? Is it time to co-create another kind of version of what Agile means with AI and how we can put it all together? In general, maybe when we step back from these principles of co-agility, I think we have two basic metaphors for AI use nowadays. One is some sort of mechanical servant, where you expect it to be precise, not so clever, or if clever, it just reserved for some kind of things like calculations, optimization, some technical things that we humans find boring or are not very fond of doing, and so on. And we expect in that kind of a metaphor, like mechanical servant, AI to be very precise. And we get even a little bit like angry at AI when it's not precise or produces errors and so on. I've seen that quite often. That also means AI is not for collaboration, AI is not for creativity, it's not for problem solving, it's just for basic things that keep humans' time for something more valuable. Valid point. Another kind of a metaphor is treating AI as some sort of divine tech being, super being, which has all the answers, is more smart than we are, also with artificial general intelligence, like waiting for it to come. We're, I think, on the path towards it. And that's, again, perfectly fine. Maybe we'll get there at some not so far point in future. But what's maybe a sort of a challenge there is are we missing maybe the critical thinking in that kind of a metaphor? Are we missing critical oversight of humans and just keeping the human in the loop there may be missing? So I think when thinking about co-agility, we need to think of another metaphor, neither like mechanical servant, neither a divine tech AGI, rather something that is really like a partner, something that is human plus AI and treating that as a unit. And in that, I think we need, paradoxically, maybe coaching skills. So in my experience, one of the ways that improves collaboration of humans and AI is actually coaching. The best interactions with AI come when you treat AI with coaching tools, like asking some of the coaching questions. How sure are you about this? Or asking for some metacognition questions. Tell me in percentages, what is the confidence level when you give this output? Why are you giving this explanation? What is your learning from this interaction? Asking AI the things that we ask our clients in coaching. For anybody familiar with ICF coaching competencies, we have that kind of points like learning awareness. When we ask our clients about what they are learning from certain interactions, we can also ask AI those kinds of things like, what are you learning from this conversation? We can also do what is called facilitating progress and so on, asking AI, what will you do better next time, and so on. So in a way, like really applying coaching skills in improving our interaction with AI. What we are planning at Coaching Center is actually making this kind of a add-on. It's not like a pivot, it's more like forking in our services, in also adapting coaching skills for improving human-AI collaboration. That's one of the agendas that we have on our list nowadays. This is the time when I'm making the first pause and inviting you for any questions or anything so far. We can use the good old mics if you prefer, or Menti also if you prefer. The code wasn't working, that's what Alex is saying. Okay, should we do then the good old mics? Yeah. So if anybody has a question at this point, old-fashioned kind of way. Anything that maybe triggered you? Yeah, please. Wow. Somebody raised the hand, no? No. Great. Working?
Good, it's working. So, how to rely more on AI? I mean, how to make confidence in results which are provided by AI?
It's a great question, and I think we have some research on that. Some so far, I think, or hope that we would have more. One of the ways to enable that or work on that is under the box of explainability, transparency. That is like AI rhetoric about that, AI provider's rhetoric. On psychological terms, that would be metacognition behind AI. And we've done some small research in May. We plan to continue doing that going forward. It's like we tested 5 key models at that time in May. Gemini, Claude, GPT 3.5 at that point, Mistral and Llama. Don't ask me the versions in May, some of the versions. Gave them coaching tasks that our clients, when they apply for ICF certifications, go through. So some typical coaching scenarios with correct and incorrect responses. And we wanted to see how models perform. So that was one kind of a research question. How do different models perform at all in coaching tasks? But what we were more interested in is actually how they explain that. And we used some signal detecting theory to see when they actually hit and knew they hit, and when they missed a response and knew or didn't know that they missed. So that was important to us, that metacognition kind of patterns in how AI performs on coaching tasks. you can read what model won, it's not important, but we also did some qualitative analysis of why did you provide this answer and analyze qualitative responses. In our experience at that time, it was like metacognition metrics for 5 AI models were better than metacognition metrics for our ICF experts who took part as a comparison group. So AI models were more aware of making mistakes than our experts certified with ICF. That was a huge thing. So in terms of metacognition, at least when it comes to this small-scale research, so it's small scale, it's an exploratory study with all like reservations and limitations, we can say that AI's metacognition in May 2024 was more than okay. It doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean it's always true. We shouldn't go into that tech divine thing. So some people who are experts in the field of human-AI collaboration, like Ethan Mollick, I recommend his book to anybody everywhere whenever I meet. Ethan Mollick from Wharton Business School, he says we should treat AI as a person. And from that, it actually means, okay, then you can assign also metacognition to AI and like check what is the metacognition metrics. And our research, in a way, was inspired by that. I'm not sure whether that is a good direction to follow, because we also have some research, not from Coaching Center, but worldwide research saying that when you treat AI as a person, human confidence falls down. Humans believe more AI when it's treated like a tool, robot, or whatever, in comparison when it's treated like a personified with an avatar and so on, which is an interesting finding. So in general, back to your question, it's like we will never be sure, and we can never have perfect metacognition metrics unless it's an algorithm. At this state, generative AI is not an algorithm. I'm sure you all know that. It's more like a probabilistic tool, let's say, that has diverse outputs, not like predetermined outputs. With that, you can always expect errors, but errors with some sort of, like quotes there, because part of the value of generative AI is actually that erroneous or diversity kind of thing, which is not one single true output. I think that is an important point, both for coaches and people from Agile, just to know that when they rely on AI, we should rely on something that is maybe in the domain of divergent tasks and responses, when we have multiple correct answers. If we have a task that requires a convergent response, one correct answer, GenAI is not the thing. Use algorithms, use basic maths, use something else. But GenAI proves to be most useful when we have multiple correct responses. I think to our benefit and maybe luck, both coaching and Agile are processes without one true response. So that is where AI is basically very helpful. It makes us even more creative, come to more solutions and so on. But if we expect outputs which are one true response, Gen AI is not the tool. Maybe some other machine learning models and so on, but not Gen AI. So we should keep monitor, in a way, its metacognitive metrics. It's very important. It makes us sure about what we have as a partner. If we talk about partnering with AI, knowing its metacognitive metrics is important, because then we know at what point, at what degree of certainty we can count on it. And maybe compared to humans also. That's nice. But expecting 100% true responses, I guess that's not the thing in the game with GenAI. Thank you for the question, very inspiring one. Maybe more.
Was how to rely on AI. I want to ask how to rely on people after they get used to use AI on daily basis. How can we prove that this is a verified analysis or answer, or is just a robot answer?
Yeah. Perfect question again. So it's good that we distributed Mike. Alexa, thank you so much for joining into this unplanned activity. I teach also at the university, and last year GPT was the thing, you know, and students use it, of course. We cannot hide it from our students. So one of the ways to maybe address the issue was, okay, here is the exam. The exam was always an open exam book. So before GPT, I just allowed students to use whatever books, internet, whatever resources, their notes from the classes, whatever. It was open. And now, last year, they also had GPT. You can use GPT, but if you use it, please write a disclaimer. I used this model, this LLM, and write some sort of a critical reflection on what you think about the output. Some of my students got better grade for their critical analysis of AI outputs than those who just didn't use GPT or those that just uncritically accepted GPT. So I think education is one of the keys there. When we allow, and I think we cannot stop that anyway, when we make some sort of AI use a possibility, we need to embed some of the mechanisms that are critical thinking, critical judgment, critical oversight, or what we call human in the loop there. And we need to educate people from maybe universities already too late, maybe some even lower educational levels are actually the start point, because kids are using now, back to football, in front of Euro this year, my older son was asking Tarabot, one of the bots in AI Town, whatever it is, Tarabot, tell me who would win this Euro. And Tara said Spain, 1 month before the finals. He got so angry that she didn't say Croatia, that it was like a real quarrel in English, which is good for his English skills, of course. But there we are seeing 8-year-olds or 10 years old kids who are talking to AI for their own needs, and maybe with or without critical oversight. We need to maybe go even earlier in education. Maybe, again, university is too late, but I think even people at work also need that kind of critical skills, enabling AI into their work, but still providing some of the tools to stay critical, maybe to get some metacognition metric, to have different tools and skills and mindsets of critical oversight of AI. Ethan Mollick, in his book, talks a lot about the thing that many organizations and people in organizations are hiding using AI. So employees use it, but they don't tell anybody so that they don't get caught. That is really awkward in a way. So hiding that you're using a tool. We need to make an environment where that's normal, one thing, and embedded into some control mechanisms with critical thinking, with metacognition, with mindsets and skills of people. That those are new skills, human-AI collaboration, that make sure our interactions are the ones that are, if not correct and true, then at least workable, at least. So again, I'm not sure the response is quite on spot, but the question was very inspiring again. Thank you. Maybe one more question. What are examples you already explored that you find insightful? So this was a question, I assume. And what this question triggers me is actually to go a little bit further in the presentation, because I do have some examples. The example that I will be talking about is something that we call Coachia, and that is something that we developed this year, basically, at Coaching Center. So somewhere in March this year, we applied for the Serbian Innovation Fund competition with an app that we call AI System for Human Skills Development. And we had their AI tutor, mentor, simulator, reflection body or metacognition body. We added that later on because we found also from research that we need one. And we submitted the application in March, and we thought, okay, who knows, maybe we win it, maybe not. We don't have any kind of people that we know, or connections, or political background, or anything. Let's build the app. no matter whether we win the award or not. And we contacted our technology partners and our previous clients, Levy 9 company. I don't know if there are any Niners. I saw and met some people from Endava previously upstairs. But if there are Niners, greeting to them. And Levy 9 built with us an app before actually the results of the fund. In June, we already had MVP version of the app. In July, we found out that we won the prize, which was really great. And we launched the app on 4th September into our ICF certification programs and with one of our corporate clients, that is Hulavu. Again, if there are any people from Hulavu waving to you back. Basically, this is our first maybe use case or example of using AI. So basically what we did in this very basic, you could say even primitive version, I dare to say that, is we made a wrapper for basically ChatGPT, which is custom bots that are turned into agents. Tutor, for example, when it's used for some coaching skills or different kind of soft skills, has some IP or resources that are our own IP, like my book that was published with Routledge and so on. So our participants can ask, can you tell me about the tool, or what tool should I use? And then it cites the book. So back to metacognition and correctness and also how we use it and can we trust people using it. It cites the book, but also makes some creative adaptations. Being an author, I'm very satisfied with how it does. So the tutor so far is not hallucinating, the word that I'm not even very fond of when it's in use. So it doesn't make untruthful claims. It makes creative adaptations or improvisations based on the book. So far I haven't found any output which is like, this is complete bullshit, sorry for the language, but rather adapting the content in the book and maybe improvising a little bit with it. So that's the tutor. Another kind of tool there is mentor. Anybody going through ICF certifications, you know that you need to submit recording, get evaluation from somebody who is into ICF and so on. So our mentor is trained on ICF competencies to provide feedback. And it performs very well. So again, we can talk about some metrics there, but in general, it proves to be at least a very, let's say, confident and trustful partner, really partner in the process. We made one specific kind of mentor, which is called red flagger, which is very strict and has demands that are even above human kind of criteria of what passes or doesn't pass, the ICF criteria. And then we use the red flagger both for really like those kind of delicate situations when we have kind of a disagreement between people, us or those kinds of situations. And our star maybe is AI simulator, which creates simulations in real time for people to practice. For example, imagine a cohort of organizational people, employees who are into feedback skills with us. So they get Coaching Center's trainer, then that person actually goes there, teaches, provides some kind of theory, simulations, feedback, and then 2 weeks, 1 month or so passes away and people are a little bit left on their own. Then they have Coachia to practice in the meanwhile. So for us, it's augmentation of our training workforce rather than replacement of it. And the simulator is so far the most popular agent. It creates dynamically in real-time simulations and provides feedback. It was crafted by us. It's not like GPT out of box. It has some sort of kind of guardrails, instructions, Coaching Center's IP, and so on. But technologically speaking, this is, at this point, very rudimentary. Like the version 1, we are now into version 2 with Coachia. Our technology partner now is Tekako, again, another IT company from Belgrade and another client that we are proud of. And our aim is actually to build it further into something that is voice-based, with more kind of developed tools, with more immersive environments for learning and development, and so on. We also have the ambition to adapt it for the people in Agile. So let me just go to that slide to show you some of the ideas. So this is what's already implemented, and I talked about this. I didn't mention this AI metacognition body. Basically, it accompanies our participants on various programs, corporate ones and certification ones, by asking them questions. What are you learning this week? How are you doing? What goals are you setting? What support are you getting? What support are you missing? And so on. And that, in a way, makes sure that our participants are on track and supported, and also is valuable information for our trainers team so that they know how the whole cohort is doing and what are some of the challenges or goals that they are having. And this is a list of some of the things that may be built. I'm just monitoring time to make sure that I'm not talking too much so far. So this is the list of tools that are at this point just prototypes for Agile. The list, of course, can be expanded. It can be like modified. This is something that is, at this point, only a plan. The previous slide is like, this is already happening, and we are into refining, researching, gamifying these tools, making them more realistic, voice-based, immersive. That is what we are doing now with the prize that we got from Innovation Fund, and that is our next 8 months, I guess. And what I'm showing here is maybe more specifically what we could do with, in the same kind of way, with same technology and approach, just targeting specifically Agile. I do have some sort of voting here and rating for different AI partners in coaching in Agile, but maybe rather than that, again, some sort of a chit-chat, if you like. How do you like so far the examples? Referring back to the question, any specific examples or use cases I've just shared, so any feedback so far? Anything that's triggered you or made an interesting point there? Or something that you disagree with, that's always interesting. How do you like Coachia as I introduced it? Any feedback? If you go through the list of agents that are some sort of like wild ideas for Agile, where do you see greatest potential? Where do you see lowest potential? What would you like to have available? And what would you say, well, this would never work? The results, it's working, Alex. Okay, let's see. Metrics tracker, that's interesting. Maybe just, again, an example of how we use AI for metrics. Previously on the slides, when I was talking about how we maybe shouldn't using AI only for that kind of calculating, analyzing, optimizing workflows, and so on. So that is, of course, one use case. We shouldn't just maybe use AI as a calculator, and this sometimes may sound as using AI as a calculator. At this point, what we do with Coachia is we record our training sessions, of course, with consent of our participants, then submit the recordings, the video recordings to AI for analysis of transcripts. So qualitative analysis, again, sometimes based on some custom prompts, sometimes just like asking a specific question, what is the dynamics, what was the trainer doing well, what the trainer should have done better next time, and so on. So that is some sort of, again, analytics, maybe more qualitative analytics, but we can also have some metric out of there. What was the engagement level, rate the engagement level, and so on. Also, I know that Agile is very much into metrics, much more than coaching. You can also use maybe Agile in all sorts of fashion to support you with the metrics that are important to you. But just don't maybe also miss this kind of qualitative analysis of different material that are sometimes in video form, sometimes in textual form or other, and have AI insight with critical eye, of course, there. If you need a calculator, I think GenAI probably wouldn't be the thing. It went away. where you said the least number of responses, AI retrospective insight agent. This is interesting. I was thinking maybe, well, we have in Coachia also AI coach. This kind of retrospective an agent would also be some sort of a coach or team coach. We have even the prompts for a team coach and so on. Again, Ethan Mollick, that I mentioned now for the third time in presentation, in his book, he has open sharing of prompts for coach, team coach, tutor, simulator, and so on. So if this is interesting to you, I really encourage you. They're all articles that are freely available on the web by Ethan Mollick, so you can also look it on the web and see how we can craft different agents that suit learning and development needs. So my guess would be, I would go for an AI retrospective agent, but how would I maybe apply it? Maybe record the retrospective session and then give it to AI to analyze it and ask the questions, what was not obvious here in the session? What did we as humans not observe? What can we do better next time in organizing our retrospective and so on? So maybe even there, I would give it a shot, although it had only 12% of votes. I think we have time also maybe for this, but let me check if that is true. It's 11 minutes, but I'm not sure whether with quiz or without the quiz. Maybe just to check with people in the background. Is it 11 minutes with the quiz or without the quiz? Without the quiz. So we have 11 minutes. Okay, in that case, just grab a human next to you without AI this time, and just maybe chat 5 minutes on where do you see the use cases, where do you don't see the use cases, where AI has some sort of a buy-in for you at this point. 5 minutes and some sort of sharing, and then we have the quiz. Does that work? Yeah? Okay, so chat. No AI this time. 5 minutes, I'm monitoring, I do have a clock there.
We can go with the quiz. Huh?
Hvala.
Actual lost i bio je preko QR koda.
Stvar.
I mogu se čita. I onda ova devojka dok se držala kviz, dok je bilo...
Kako?
Nije, da.
Ne, mislim da će Jelena da vas najavi.
Da.
Samo ne znam šta se dešava. Je sve okej?
Da, sad ću da pročekam 5 minuta da mi odgovore tamo i...
A, super, odlično.
Se uklapa u vreme? Da. Uklapa se odlično. And you can already share a bit. one last minute, maybe. So my colleagues in the, just to make sure this is working, ako može, da me uključe samo. Da me uključe, pa ne, nego da mi radi, ne radi mi ovo. Ne, mikrofon mi ne radi. To da mi uključe mikrofon. So, the last thing from me at this point, like a little bit of sharing before my colleagues come and organize a quiz by Coaching Center with some, I think, valuable prizes. But before that, maybe just a little bit of feedback or sharing back from you. So anything that you would like to feed back into the discussion from this small chit-chat on AI. Anything maybe already in Mentimeter, just let me check. Or again, we can use the old-fashioned mic way. AI, machine learning algorithm, doesn't resolve moral dilemmas the same way our human brains do. Cognitive bias, yes, for people and for AI too. Ethical dilemmas also. A lot of research needed into how AI works, where it bugs, where it provides most value. I guess that's a new era for psychologists, so that's me, into how AI and humans work together, where they bug collaboratively, where each of them bugs. It's really like a new era of psychological research, and I'm sure that at least at my faculty and university, many of the students also get interested and pick up this topic. Also, people who are into product research, I think, will have a lot of interesting new research topics, not just the traditional maybe user research topics or product research topics, but rather now in this interaction with AI, how do we enable safe, transparent, ethical applications of AI, and how do we really make that co-agility that I was introducing in the beginning reality in working with AI. Thank you so much for taking part in all the kinds of chit-chats and questions and everything, and I'm leaving you now to Tiana and Joel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jelena. I'm from Coaching Center, and we are here again now to give you a little quiz. And is it working? Huh?
I'll test.
Okay. Do you hear me? No? Yes?
My microphone is working. Is yours? I think we need to turn on Tiana as well. So maybe you go and just, it will help you. Okay, so while Tiana is setting up, can you please test the QR code? If it doesn't work, 8303937, you can type it in Menti.com. So if I could just get a show of phones, if you managed to do it. Yes, 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 thank you. Okay, so Tiana, you can go.
Yeah, so what we will do, the training is called Constructivist Coaching for Organizations, and this is me mixing up A3 and A5, so whoever gets it is unlikely to get it lost. It's actually coaching in different organizational aspects. We unbelievably made it. Jelena created it. She's director before using AI, but we continuously improve it with AI. And with the program, you get your own Coachia, so you can practice it. But us real trainers are delivering it. Important to know as well, it's online, it's in English, so whoever is not from Belgrade, it's accessible for you as well. It's starting mid-November. And as well, if you get hooked on coaching, you can get certified with ICF because that's one of the biggest steps toward this. So the quiz is, I think, fun and easy. Let's see. Maybe we can start it, huh?
Yeah, so before Tiana starts it up, so all the players should be joining. There's a lot of you. Be aware, it's time-boxed and time matters. So the faster you answer, the more points, and the more accurate you are, the more points. So Tiana, whenever you're ready, question number 1.
So you have 45 seconds, I think we put, and we'll show winners every second question.
So, how many times has the Regional Scrum Gathering been held in Belgrade? It is more than 2. I will help you.
And if you would say on how many you participated, you would give the answer away. And for me, it's the first. 71 answers we have already. We could have made this shorter. These people are quick.
Yeah, I think everybody who's playing answered, so let's see.
Next question.
Okay.
Which topics will be the focus at the Regional Scrum Gathering, or are already the focus? We obviously made this before we kicked the event off. After this question, we show the first results of the winners.
And you can get between 500 and 1,000 points for this question.
Ah, really?
So again, there's 70 people who already answered. I think we can go on. 71.
Grace. But it's a close run.
So Grace, yeah. No, let's see.
Grace, Dušica,
So Grace is the leader for now. No, okay,
have
next
3.
question.
Albania.
I love that there's 67 players and 71 answers. How many alumni does Coaching Center have? So this is cheating, right? It's better for people who are at Coaching Center.
This will be a guess. I am guessing for
Oh,
most.
but you
This
have to
will be
just
a
guess the approximate number. Now,
Maybe
this is,
someone can ask AI.
this is tricky because, you know, 500 plus equals 250 plus, but it's more precise answer.
Closest to the
Yeah,
number.
but you can have a more precise answer, right? Who is the author of Coaching Psychology Constructivist Approaches?
Look at the speed of the answers. Ana Jovanović, maybe there's some. Okay.
So let's check. This is a midpoint leaderboard. Grace is killing it.
But it's very close. Tiger baby.
Ooh, all correct answers give max points.
What is the name of the first web app from Coaching Center? Okay. 6, almost done.
So there's no time limit now. The key element in implementing coaching within Agile teams.
Oh,
Ooh,
this one.
this is cool.
This is your subject matter.
No, this one is cool because I can argue every one of these points.
$65. Oh, tiger baby comes first.
Okay, 3 more.
growth mindset in coaching.
So which key mindset supports a growth mindset? Or for those of you who were listening to Nigel, the growth attitude.
Yes, he said it very well.
I'm actually in favor of the last one because the last one breeds creativity.
Uh-huh.
The limiting of new opportunities.
Uh-huh.
Okay, two more. Another timed question.
So this is the training, the main focus of our training. Okay, so this one is taking a bit more.
Okay, so
And
at 8th question, the
one
leader
more
is
question. Tamara.
Tamara.
Tamara,
think
Tiger
there's
Baby
just one more?
Katarina.
Okay, last one. Shall Tamara remain?
Which key tool is used in the constructivist coaching for organizations advanced diploma to enhance human capacities? And we actually kick it off with Lean and Agile, the program. The first two modules are about, and it was created much before we decided to partner up with Regional Scrum Gathering event.
And we are rewarding the top 3 or?
Top 3 we have,
Top
yes.
3.
So after we see, we would ask whoever, if you want to come up, that I give it to you. If not, then the coaching center on the first floor, we have like a booth.
And
So
you will
please
have
come
to
up
prove
take
to
it.
us, if you're Tiger Baby, you need to show us the phone where it says you're Tiger Baby.
Yes. Okay, and the winner is... Ta-da! So Tamara, do you want to come up, Tamara? Ah, Tamara is actually close. I've never done this in my life. But
And
it feels
also
really
2
good that
runner-ups
this
are
is-
Tiger Baby and Katarina, so you can also come and get your reward.
And Tiger Baby.
Yes.
If Tiger, it's Tiger Baby. Third is a woman, so you give it. And for Tiger Baby, I didn't figure out if it's a man or a woman.
and it's the Katarina with a snowman on
You're
it.
the Tiger Baby. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Here you go. Come up to the stand afterwards, coaching center.
Čestitke.
Okay, so that's all for us. Thank you very much for listening in, for participating. Did you want to do something? No?
No, see you on the CCO.
Ciao.
Jelena, please come out.
This was not
Congratulations to
planned,
the
so
winners.
I don't know what Veronica is up to now.
No, congratulations to the winners, first of all. Tamara
Yes,
and I
congratulations.
forgot the other name, Katarina.
Forgot the names, but huge congratulations and hope this was
Congratulations.
also fun.
But then you have to come next year on the stage and tell us how the course went.
Well, that's what Veronica said.
Yeah. So Jelena, thank you so much to you and to your colleagues for making the sessions so interactive and for having like amazing questions and also a lot of play around with the quiz. So I'm sure you'll be welcome next year as well.
Thank you.
And the people can come upstairs to the coaching center stand and discuss other details with you, right?
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Or a football game
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody.